Welcome back to Crypto Weekly Update. My name is Sasha Tharia, Chief Communications Officer at IMIN. Let's dive into this week's news. This week, El Salvador becomes the first country in the world to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. The bill introduced by the President of El Salvador to make Bitcoin legal tender in the nation passed with the Legislative Assembly in a supermajority. President Nayib Bukele said that accepting Bitcoin would be mandatory. They have to take it by law, he said, applying to all merchants in the country. Bitcoin now complements the US dollar as the official form of legal tender in El Salvador. This is a tremendous first global step, seeing nations accept cryptocurrencies as legal tender rather than purely a speculative asset. We look forward to the continued acceptance of crypto as a legal tender in more nations in the future. As for further advancements in the space, Coinbase and ForUsAll have partnered to offer 401k plans incorporating crypto. The major cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has a new partnership with ForUsAll that will allow for crypto investments within their retirement plan. Workers will be able to invest up to 5% of their 401k investments in several different cryptocurrencies. If their employer uses ForUsAll plan, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin will be initially offered to investors to choose from. CIO for ForUsAll, David Ramirez, agrees to allocate a reasonable amount of one's portfolio to cryptocurrency investment. He stated, alternative investments, including small allocations to cryptocurrency, can help improve portfolio diversification and expected returns. Workers with plans from ForUsAll will be allowed to invest into crypto assets directly, while Coinbase Institutional will manage trading and custody of the coins. On the topic of coins, let's discuss the Ethereum node launched into orbit. On Thursday, an Ethereum node was launched into outer space from NASA's Kennedy Space Center aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. And on Monday, the node arrived at NASA's International Space Station for installation. An Enterprise Ethereum Alliance member, SpaceChain, has integrated Ethereum technology in space. While this is SpaceChain's fourth blockchain payload launch into space, it's their first integration of Ethereum technology into the company's hardware on the International Space Station. SpaceChain's mission is to leverage the security and the remoteness of space infrastructure to create a decentralized network of blockchain hardware that is immune to the same attack vectors as terrestrial computer systems. Once installed, the Ethereum Space Node will be used to authenticate on-chain multi-signature transactions for digital asset management for the firm Nexus Inc. The purchase of Bitcoin has not slowed down, as shown by Microstrategy, who plans to sell $500 million of bonds to buy more Bitcoin. Despite purchasing more than $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, Microstrategy is not showing any signs of halting its purchases. Since its initial purchase of $250 million in August 2020, the business intelligence giant has continued to double down on its Bitcoin investment. This is not the first time MicroStrategy is rolling out such an initiative. Earlier this year, the firm raised over $1 billion, which was used to buy Bitcoin. Since then, the firm has gone to invest several millions in the flagship cryptocurrency. With the most recent purchase in mid-May, MicroStrategy now owns over 92,000 Bitcoins, acquired at an average price of $24,450 per coin. This is just one of the many examples of institutions unaffected by the recent crypto market dip, and even doubling down on their holdings with the lower prices. And finally, Hut 8's mining shares are to be listed on Nasdaq. The cryptocurrency mining company focused on mining Bitcoin recently announced that it won approval for its shares to be listed on the Nasdaq Global Select Market. Hut 8 will return its listing on the Toronto Stock Exchange under the same ticker. The mining company announced in April it was seeking to raise $500 million over a 25-month period in its latest security offering. Although primarily focused on Bitcoin, Hut 8 said in March it purchased $30 million worth of NVIDIA's crypto-focused graphic cards to mine Ether along with other potential cryptocurrencies. Thank you for watching this week's Weekly Update. We look forward to seeing you next week.